Hello everyone. It's a very late hour for me, at least. It's like 3. Took a nice nap, and then I woke up. Did a little bit of sound meditation. And I thought I would come on here and see if anyone showed up. It would probably be people from other parts of the globe. And I think they may maybe have a better idea of the correct correspondence, correct answer for what I'm going to ask. I don't ask for, all the videos I made, I don't really ask for much. But once in a while, people ask me for answers to questions, and I've probably given 10,000 answers to questions. 99% of them pretty right on. And I'm going to ask one question. I'll try to give you a story. I'm going to wait a little while to give that story and then the question. Because, well, I don't feel like reading it in the comment section. I'd rather do it live. So I'm going to grab myself my beverage. Because, well, y'all might not know, earlier I did make a video, and I have a little bit of a throat issue, and so it's hard to sleep because, you swallow a little bit, and there's a little tingle in your throat. I fixed most of that, but after I did, I woke back up. I have a glass of honey and Irish whiskey. So we'll wait here for a second and see who shows up, and then we'll continue on with story time. Even if there's only one person in the room, we'll give you story time. And also, obviously, as I'm here, I will happily answer any and all questions about, whatever you like. It could be something as simple as how to properly cut vegetables, or maybe how to shoot pool, or we get into the nature of reality. We get into fasting. We could get into how to wire a house. I could teach you how to build a house. Well, what do you want to know? And but initially, I'm going to start with a question I have for all of you. Whoever is here, the one person in the room right now. I wonder who it is. Do I know you already? Do I know who this is? Let me see who this is. Let me see who this is. Charitable Miracle Ministry. Did you change your name, or do I know you? Do you know who I am? Do I think dreams are dimensions? I'll answer that in 2 ways for you. One way is, the answer is yes, obviously. It depends on if it's a dream, if it's a lucid dream, if it's an astral travel, or if it's an out-of-body experience, or if it's because there's levels to lucidity. But yes, certainly, you're either dealing in the dream world, in the subconscious realm, or maybe you can dive into the deepest, darkest delta unconscious realms and dig things out of there, or you could be more lucid and get into maybe getting out of body, or having an astral projection. Or astral projection and astral travel are different. A projection is to put yourself somewhere. To project something is different than to travel to somewhere. So you must always remember that. You were born, you could astral travel, but not anymore for some reason. Savan Bomar talks about that and I go in and out of these realms of being able to do that. It's what I'm really focused on and really want to. And it's just about taking, I'm going to get back to the question after kind of going sideways here for you. It's about the practice to doing that, there you can just magically get out of body. You can magically just do that. But then, unless you have a practice or some sort of, I don't want to say it's religious or ceremonial, but there's a way to do it. So if you know the steps of going through the process to get out of body, you can do it pretty often. I mean, in one night you could do it many times, especially if you wake up from it. Especially if you, there's ways of doing it. But yeah, certainly dreams are other dimensions. It's either sub dimensions or alternative dimensions of your of what's going on in your subconscious mind, and that tends to be dreams where you're a so you have dreams. You know this. You have a dream where you're looking through your eyeballs, and you're in first person. And you have a dream where you're behind yourself or around yourself, and you can see yourself walking through the dream. And then there's dreams that you're aware of that. So those are levels of awareness, and whether or not you're the ones that you're looking at yourself from a third party perspective, a third point of view. Um, you could equally be as lucid or vivid in that as you could be if you're looking out of your eyes. And so either way, it could be getting out of body. It could be an astral realm. Getting out of body in an astral realm and astral travel, or astral projection and astral travel, are three different things. Most people would use those synonymously, but I don't think they're that way at all. Um, but yeah, there certainly are other dimensions. And if you get right into the dimensional thing, if you really mean like another dimension, then a dream isn't another dimension in the sense that I can go from here and I can dip out into, say, another physical place, and that would be astral projection or out of body, where I can go to another place that isn't where in this sun system where you think we are. Where a dream tends to deal with your subconscious mind or your unconscious mind, or just it could be something in your conscious mind that you're dealing with, which most people would say is another is in essence another dimension, but it's not the way you say another realm, another dimension. It's out there. It's a go over there, and you could, like, I'm in my house right now. Let's use this example. In my house, I could get out of my body and look at myself sleeping. Now that's out of body. Pretty simple. I can see it, and I can start walking around doing things, and I'm still here. I'm still here in this time, in this space, in this energy, and I can walk through this place. I could go downstairs. I could go outside. I could walk to, or I could fly to, or I could do whatever. Then you have astral projection, where you project yourself somewhere. You wouldn't necessarily see your body laying here sleeping, but it'd be very close. You're out of body, certainly, but it's a different form of, it's a different density of your body. So you're just able to get to it, to a different realm, a different dimension. And then you have your subconscious dream world, which is usually given to people in symbolic form, meaning you probably won't be too lucid in a dream where you'll be able to control things, but you'll notice things as in the sense of a color or a symbol or something, and they'll tell you something about your waking reality. Like here, this is we can universally call this waking reality. If I see something in my dream, like say there's a story I tell of something that occurred many years ago, that I would see a yellow Lamborghini, but I wouldn't be able to get out of first gear. And then when I realized that the Lamborghini symbol was a bull and it was yellow, and I realized that had to do with my third chakra and the connection to that, it made more sense, because that was literally what was clogged up when I was lucid dreaming or getting out of body, that I would always have trouble and it'd be gooey in those realms. And then once I cleaned that out, I didn't have that dream anymore, and I was more capable of moving around in those realms. So the simple answer is yes, it's all different dimensions, it's all different realms, since whether or not you believe this physical reality exists and there's something just a little beyond the, say, Antarctic Circle or into another planet, or however you believe the systems work. Those, to me, I would say would be realms, and dimensions would be maybe more akin to the dream world. Dimensions would be like getting out of body and just being in a different time or a different space. Where so that is realms, different time, different space. It's still very much solid and you can it's tangible. Where the dream world is more along the line of dimensions, and it's dimensionality within your mind of seeing different aspects of yourself that you normally wouldn't see, and you'll see them symbolically, and usually colors and symbols. And if you're acoustically sound, if you can hear things in those dreams, then you have that quality too. Most people, sounds only come when you're going through a portal to another dimension, or to another realm, excuse me. So there you go. There's that. And let me turn my screen up a little bit here because I cannot see your words too well, and I don't have to keep digging in here. I'm putting my face in the camera. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, and so there's the astral travel thing. Yeah, you do definitely. Ministry, you do wake up in other dimensions, but most people are not aware of that. And do you remember your dreams? How much can you bring back? That's always the question for people. How can you relearn the steps? The simple way is, I mean, where do you live? I mean, what part of the world are you in now? What time is it? Is this an odd hour for you? Because for me, it's an odd hour, so I would assume most people in the United States are not up right now. So I'd assume you're probably from overseas, and it's a normal hour for you. we're in the red light. 4 a.m. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're right near me. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't realize that. Shit. So you're East Coast, right? East Coast. You East Coast time zone. You north. You northern East Coast. You like Philly or some shit. Is that the wrong direction? Are you in the... Am I right? Are you Philly? Am I right about that? That'd be crazy. So you're at a good time right now. As long as you're not wide awake, there's some breathing patterns you can do. Will help you get into the proper brain waves. Breathing patterns coordinate with your brain waves, and those brain waves will help you to get into different... I'll give you a quick overview, but obviously, if you've never watched my videos, have you watched my videos? Have you ever watched any of them? Do you know who the fuck I am? I mean, I'm not saying it like that. Do you know who the fuck I am? But you know what I mean. Like, I'm just curious. Do you know? Oh, you do. Okay. So I've done videos on the breathing patterns. So the basic breakdown is: here's your four basic. Your fingers. Use your fingers. You have alpha, beta, theta, delta. Alpha, beta. Yeah, okay. Oh, man, I've done so many. I don't know how you found my channel or how you look at my videos, but there's a plethora of them. Some people might call it a shit ton. But if you go to my channel directly, then you can find it. It's maybe 3 years ago. If you just put my name in, it only is going to give you 200 videos. If you put my channel in, you get 1,700 videos minus 600 that I took down. So 1,100 videos or something. Anyway, so here's the realms, and here's the consciousness, and then here's a couple techniques. Your breathing patterns are... The lowest is delta. It's called D tab. DTAB. Delta, theta, alpha, beta. Or, so it's D tab, delta, theta, alpha, beta. Or BAT D. Beta, alpha, theta, delta. BAT D. So the lowest realm is delta. I mean, there's also gamma. And there's also some other realms, but that's hyperventilating and getting yourself into like 30 to 40 hertz, or getting yourself in the lower zero. Like it's a little lower than delta. But delta is usually sleep mode, like full on body healing. You want to get into a theta realm. So the breathing patterns, you have 4 breathing patterns for the 4 brainwaves, and you would use your breathing in and out of your mouth, and that keeps it in a lower realm. Makes sense, right? So you're breathing in and out here, so you're in a delta realm. And then you breathe in your mouth and out your nose, and that's getting into so D tab. So theta is the next realm up. in your mouth and out of your nose. That's theta. Then alpha, nose, nose. Think about it. It's like a fish, the alpha dog, the alpha thing. It's up here. It thinks it's the best thing. But it is usually associated with that. Then you have beta. And that's in the nose and out of the mouth. So it takes energy from here and pulls it down. And you're looking to get into a theta realm or a gamma realm. To get in a gamma realm, which is the 5th one, you do all the breaths in that order. Mouth, 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 nose, 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 mouth. And you cycle that. Right? So then you circle that breath and you get into a gamma wave. But if you just want to get in a theta realm, you'd go to theta breath, as I just explored with you. And that you would do after waking up at, say, 3 or 4 in the morning. Like you would set your alarm. You'd have a nice nap from whatever time you go to bed, 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever. Have a nice nap till like 3 or 4. Get into that witching hour. It's when all the electricity's off. No one's using their computer. No one's talking with anything. And so all of that extra energy, it's not being used. And you wake up and you're kind of sleepy. You stay up for a couple of minutes, and then you go into that breathing pattern, and you can start to get on that precipice, and you can push yourself into that realm. You can do a rolling method. You can do it's called wake back to bed. That's the initial thing, and then as you're getting there, then you start to sense your body inside of your physical body, and you can roll out of your body. You can sit up in your body, and that's when you'll pull yourself out of this skin suit. That's a major way to do it. There's so many different ways to do it, but usually just being on that sleeping awake kind of place, that's always helpful. And it's always remembering this one central idea. It's mind awake, body asleep. You let your body start to get tingly and heavy and dense, but you keep your mind focused on what you're trying to accomplish, and your body just naps and it thinks it's sleeping. And that's when you can take your spiritual body, your mind, and collect that and pull it out of your body. That's the if you could naturally do that, you were doing that because no one taught you otherwise. No one got in the way of doing that. And everyone should naturally be able to do that. But so many things get in the way of that. Diets, false narratives from parents, and all of these different stories, and people start to believe in the Jesus figure and the Muhammad and all this, and they start to get religious and they get fearful, and fear gets in the way of that. So the simple way, as I said again, go to sleep, wake up, stay awake for a couple minutes so you kind of get aware with your mind, and let your body fall back to sleep. And you can also, there's another pattern you can do where if you were like, right now I'm pretty fucking wide awake because I already took a nap, and I kind of got a little bit of a like a little coffee throat. Just fucking first time I've been sick in, I don't know, 17 years. Pretty crazy, right? And what you would do is I just lost my train of thought. So if you're just if you're up at an odd hour and you want to get to that mode, you go into the breathing pattern. That's the most important thing. The breathing pattern will get your mind into that place. Oh, here, I found my train of thought. There we go. Man, almost lost that one. Have another drink, you fucking retard. Got it. Here's the other way to do it. So, if you're let's see, there's just so many ways to get out of body. I'm trying to and I lost it again. Holy shit, because I didn't know what else. That's so funny. I had lost the other way. I was going to tell you how to get out of body. Damn. Sitting here staring at my carpet like a goof. Let me think about this here. Give me a second. See, this is why doing live videos is so much more funny than people that edit shit, because I would just edit this part out and be like, no, I totally knew what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I'm totally relaxed. I'm fucking fine. I just up at an odd hour, and there's plenty of whiskey in here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go back to bed because you can't sleep very well with a sore throat. Mm. But that's so funny. If I rewound this, I could tell you the other way to do it. And now I'm laughing. I'm laughing at the idea. Anyways, I'll move on and I'll find my train of thought. Let me see if anybody else said anything or just relax, bro. You ever tell somebody to relax? Don't fucking tell me to relax. What are you talking? When you're having an argument with a chick and you're like, just relax. That makes people pissed, right? That's so funny. Um, you broke in. Okay. Which one? Which one is it that works? It's so funny when you have that idea on the tip of your brain. It's right there, and then you go to explain it, and it just vanishes. It's one of the most incredible things. Hmm. The right nostril. Okay. Left eye socket is destroyed. So the right nostril, left eye socket. Interesting. Okay. So your left nostril. Let's see. You said your left nostril. Your right nostril works. So that's your left brain. So that's your creative brain. So that's going to be easier because there is these types of breathing things where you'll take a knuckle or a finger and you plug up one of your noses, one of your nostrils, to get air to either side of your brain. Hmm. Let me see how it's going to work. I mean, it's still going to work. You're still going to be able to get out of body. Um, and when you say your eye socket's fucked up, is it just your eyeball, or is it the framework of it? Because that's different. The left eye socket is. Hmm. That's very funny that you just said that because right now that I have a little bit of a throat cold here, my right nostril does work, and my left eyeball has been fucked up. Like it's not. I can see out of it as good as good as anything, but um um the esoterics of the eyeballs. I mean, isn't that why somebody does this? Watch all the. That's we can get into that the TAW or the TAU. Ah, that's interesting. I'll get into that in a second. The question that you're asking me here, whether it's attacking your left eye. Um, well, I mean, it always goes back to the left eye of Horus and the right eye of Horus. Nobody ever talks about the right eye of Horus. They always talk about the left eye. And why you think her name was Left Eye Lopez, right? And why all of they're part of the Illuminati and whatever, and they'll always cover up this eye. It was very funny. Years and years ago, I scratched my cornea, but the craziest thing is, even though my eyeball does not work, like my pupil doesn't move, like it doesn't contract. I still have almost perfect vision in it. Both of my eyeballs are pretty good. In fact, the one that works better doesn't actually work better. My eyes are different colors. That's not very interesting to ask. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. It's how the Hebrew. Okay, I was just making sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me scroll through here and I think it's how to go about this here. The left and the right. So if it's here, then it's here. So I always try to, if there's a balance thing. Let me see if I can adjust that for you, because you're gonna have. Do you here this? It might be something spinal too. Remember Mike Tyson? Like, it's spinal. Like he broke one of his vertebrae, and he's like doing this interview. He says it's spinal. So it's like when people sit at a computer, or they lean back, or the way their feet are positioned and things like that. There's energy that goes up and down the spine that is connected to how your eyeballs work, and there could be adjustments that you could do, cranial sacral, and you could find a couple spots in the skull that you could adjust to fix the eye, and in the spine, because it's allowing certain, blood. Make it simple, it allows blood to move there, but there's also energy in there. There's also types of energy, and certain spinal adjustments will fix that, and certain postures with your feet and your knees will adjust that, and your shoulders, and that, as simple as these things might be, like thinking that your feet, and whether you're pigeon-toed or you have your feet bowed out, or your knees you get like knock-kneed, or all of those adjust. Even something as simple as adjusting where your tongue is in your mouth will adjust your facial bone structure. It will take a while, but all of that is to say that even by adjusting certain things within your physical body, you'll adjust the way that your brain works, and that would be some of your adjusting your. When you're a baby and you come out the womb, and you have all of the different pieces of your cranium that aren't connected yet, and that's how you can get out the womb. Because if your head was actually connected together, you'd break the womb, but it gets compressed, and it comes out, and it forms correctly, and then all of the it's an S word. What's it called? The sutures of your skull, they bind together later, and some people's sutures in their skull can get adjusted later in life. It's very specialized. It's not that expensive, but that alone will adjust things. If you start adjusting this and adjust the tongue placement, it adjusts where your eye is, and by adjusting these two eyes, you adjust that eye, the Jedi, the third eye, how much you can get out of body. So when you were a child, you could get out of body pretty much at just like that, and now certain postural things adjust. Maybe that adjustment of that eye adjusts the nostril, because shit, how many times you got punched in the face, right? You know what I mean? So, fun times, right? How many times you get punched in the eye, right? So it's adjusting facial things, but you could do it through professional that can go and do this and crack your neck and get an adjustment. Yeah, so there you go. So one of the things you can do is go get to get back out of body, like for real, some of the easiest things you can do. Get a spinal adjustment and find somebody that does. There's two major ones. One is, I don't know who does it in the United States. I think there's some people that do it in New York, but I know there's some people in Canada do it, where they take a balloon. This is a crazy one. They take a balloon and put it in your ear, and it adjusts something in your ear, so it adjusts your balance and snaps up. There's a bone in people's ear that adjusts their entire balance, and then there's also what's called the Atlas adjustment, And that's something you can find, like, it's hard to find somebody that knows how to do it, because it's literally the top of the spine. So you get to that 33rd vertebrae, and it's like, I mean, I can adjust my own, but it takes a, getting to that one that holds the Golgotha, your skull on top. All of that right there, doing simple physical movements, and putting your body in the right posture, and then getting a couple adjustments, that will affect the energy in your body, and that energy in your body will affect how quickly you can get out of body. And yeah, you can adjust the top bone. Do you have other ones? Like, do you have any, like, have you ever had spinal issues, like, anywhere? Do you ever, like, here you, like, crack the back, or if you ever had any adjustments? Those are very important. And after you do that, I would suggest, in order to go get a spinal adjustment, I would spend, $240. Just spend a day. Do what a woman would do. Go to a day spa, but don't really go to a day spa. Go to the go to the Chinese people that don't speak English. Okay, that would be second, and you'll get a bunch of acupuncture done. But initially, you're going to get a spinal adjustment. You'll get you're going to get acupuncture second, but you're going to get a chiropractor first. Chiropractor, acupuncture, then massage. And that right there alone, that night you'll probably have very lucid dreams, because it'll adjust everything in your body. And then all of your other, if you got a little bone out of place, you'll start sleeping better. And all of the extra shit, just is placement of the tongue. It's where they teach you in, like, in meditation, some say to use your eyes and look up. Some say look in. Some say take your tongue, put it at the roof of your mouth. Some say let it soft and sit down. So there's a few different places you can put it, and depends on what you're trying to adjust. So it's a little more detailed, but that all works on your. It's a physical thing that's working on your spirit body as well. So if you want to get your spirit body out of your physical body, there are basically stop points. I mean, if you're driving down the expressway and there's an exit's closed, you can't get off there. So if you're trying to roll out of your body and your shoulders misplaced, you're not going to be able to do that, because it's going to be holding your secondary body in there. Yeah, going all over the place with this shit, but it's fun. Who else is up in here? What's up, Ricult? Just chatting with the Charitable Miracle Ministry. Yeah, man. I mean, if you got an extra buck sitting around, dude, definitely go. Because there's only so many there's only so many adjustments you can do on yourself. There's certain adjustments you cannot do. You can get your neck. You can get parts of your spine. Obviously you can get your knuckles. You can get a few other things. You can get some shoulders in there. But there's some that you just can't get to. Hips are really hard too. Ankles are pretty tough if you ever need. I mean, but ankles are pretty. That's not really going to affect you getting out of your body. It's basically spine, which are going to be connected to. You could use, like. Let's see, what else would you use? Yeah, I mean that's the major thing to do. Just get a proper, just hey, what's up? Just give me a once over. Just fucking snap every bone in my body that you can figure out what's wrong. Just crack the fuck out of me. And then when you get the acupuncture, and then everything starts moving, and then get the massage, because, well, shit, you might as well get the fascia loosened up and get the rest of the muscles and blood moving, and yeah, that'll be a fucking magic day. And you'll be able to get out, and then just add into that, and then after add into that the practice of getting up at an odd hour, 3-4 o'clock, after taking a nice nap. You'll be much back. You'll very quickly be able to get back out of body. Like my getting in and out of body is pretty much regulated on my diet and my habits. So if I go through like a couple weeks of being out and doing shit in public, I'm not getting out of body as much, you know? I'm gonna be home fucking half drunk, take a nap. Sometimes I can get out of body when I'm drunk. Sometimes I get body when I'm high. Sometimes I can when I'm sober. Sometimes I deep sleep when I'm sober. It's very it's it's an art, not a science. I mean, it's both. It's an art and a science, but for most people, it's like a lot of it is just tension in the musculature, tendons, the musculature system, and the tendons. And once those things get relaxed and released, then it's easier to, you know, it's same as it's easier to fall asleep after you had a good rub down, gone to a spa or whatever. It's always easier. And so, yeah, yeah, I'm kind of probably getting off a topic a little bit here, but hopefully that helps a little bit, man. Oh, talk about the eyes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, obviously, eating right always helps. Yeah, do a fast, drink some piss. I mean, that's where it's at, man. That will help a lot. Talk about the eyes. Left and right eye. Get into the two eyes. I'll put this. Your eyes are connected to the opposite side of the brain. So you're looking at the difference between a masculine rectilinear kind of how you create a universe versus the feminine, more creative aspect. So how let me give me a little more of what you want me to speak on, because I can go off in many different directions on this. Do you want to know how to fix just your vision, or the eye socket thing? Because the eye socket thing is going to be the adjustments to the tongue and the skull, and you could do some skull massage and get into phrenology and just figure out some points in there. But yeah, give me a little more direction on like what more do you want on the ta and the and all that. Hey, give me a little more clue into what you really want me to say on that. Like, just give me a point to it so I can fill this up with a some ice and some more whiskey, and I'll continue on this conversation. Give me a second here. Go. Okay, we're back. Oop, one sec. One second now. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. Then. Okay. Well, I'll start with the first part. You want to know everything. Just start at the beginning of my videos. Do that. It would take a while, but most people binge on them anyways. But the earliest videos I made give a lot of knowledge into magic and esoterics of things. From the physical realm, if you want your eye healed, like getting into what the ta means and the placement in the alphabet and what the letter T is, which is much connected to the crucifixion, because the T is a crossing, and all of that. Like that's secondary to, I think, what you're probably looking for right now. Although I could address that. And it was funny because I didn't realize I had to look it up. I didn't realize it's the 22nd letter rather than 20th. In the English alphabet, it's the 20th. It's like, remember Rakim? Remember the 18th letter? Because the letter R is the 18, the R. Is the 18th letter, which is 9. And T is the 22nd letter in the Hebrew alphabet. I didn't know that. I don't study Hebrew that much. But anyways, like, see, that's all like, it's all secondary if you just want to fix the physical issue, which everything can be fixed. Anything you can break, you can fix. The only thing you can't do is uncook an egg. That's about what you got. The only thing as humans we cannot do is uncook an egg. As soon as I can uncook an egg, I think that might be my next I'm gonna do a fucking, like, David Blaine out there doing all the crazy shit, and you got all the great magicians. I think they're doing some actual magic. I think most of it's like sleight of hand and whatever, and camera tricks, but there's some doing some real magic. That will be my magic trick. I will cook an egg and then uncook it. That's the only thing that we can't do. Everything else with the body we can pretty much undo, or get into the at least the best position possible, within our lifespan. If you're in your 30s, 40s, you still got plenty of time to fix it. I think anything in the body can be fixed in 9 months. Why do I believe that? If from the moment that you're born to the moment that you come out the womb, you're fully developed. You have everything. So it takes 9 months to grow a body. That's what it takes. The only thing that stops the human body from regenerating to as perfect as it can be is that our body is so toxic to begin with. Until we eliminate all the toxin and bullshit from our body, it can't regrow itself properly. So you'd have to start from the point of, I think it would take probably 40 days of doing proper fasting and some herbs and things like that, and water, urine, herbs, to kind of balance and clean the body out. And then from there, it would take 9 months to really start to regrow. So your stomach has to regrow itself 7 times a day or some shit like that. It's something crazy. Your spleen grows back in a month. Your liver grows back. Even cancer, people don't maintain the same cancer. They've proven this. Like, even the doctors say, like, the cancer that you have today, if you have some, which pretty much everybody does, next year it's new. It might be in the same spot, but it's new atoms of cancer. Much the same way, even your bones. And the newest thing that I've seen is they figured out it's in under a year that your bones grow back. I mean, if you break a bone, it grows back in how many weeks, right? Some people grow bones back in 4 weeks. Crack a bone, it grows back. So why wouldn't it only hold to the same standard that if you have shit stuck in your system that you couldn't fix it within, I think 9 months would be for most people, I think that's the standard practice. I mean, look at an avocado. From the time you plant it to the time it's a full ripened fruit, and there's a seed in the middle, and it's good for the womb, blah blah blah. It's 9 months, and it's everything about the womb. And so I think and you go into the mother's womb and you come out, it's 9 months, right? So I think the human body can get back to standard, like perfected version in the amount of time, as long as it's clean, as long as your DNA and all of the, if you want to use scientific terms. So let me continue on with your question here. But as far as the esoteric knowledge, just start with my early videos if you want to know about magic and shit. And some of it you can use sigils and meditations and things and breathing patterns, and you can use sounds. Sound is very important to healing. Listen to different music. I don't know what the fuck you listen to. Sometimes it's just tones, and those tones will fix you. There, what do you need? You said I? There you go. Is this the right one? Oh, it might be. If it's not, at least you can hear a sound. I think this is the wrong one. This is the green one. No, not the right one. Here, let's see. Yellow, green, blue, indigo. Oh, it's that one. It's right there. I think this is the right one. We'll see. This might be the top one. I don't know. We'll see. I have the red light on, so I can't really tell what color these boxes are. So I don't know which one I'm grabbing right now. Yeah, this will work well enough. It is funny enough. It is an eye chakra one. So these. Now, even if you had no ears to hear this, your body would still be able to hear it if it was touched to your skin. So that's why I use tuning forks. You can use tuning forks to do things. Tuning forks help a lot. Not too many people know what they're doing with them, but if you find somebody that knows how to use energy medicine, Reiki, tuning forks, those help. But you'd have to be kind of religious about doing it, and you'd have to go to somebody that knows what they're doing. Let's see here. It would have to be almost a daily practice too. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like posture. If I was always leaning this way, and you know those old people that got the spine that's all fucked up, the only way they can adjust that is to continually sit back and continually do that every day, or else they're gonna fall back in the same posture, and it'll be the same thing as any other dilemma somebody has with any of their skeletal system. Because the skeletal system is connected to the tendons and the muscular system. And so that muscle and that tendon is going to continue to want to compress or pull something in the direction that it's already in. Because the body likes to be in a position that it's used to. And then you have some facial muscles and tendons going on here. So facial massage. And there's probably a couple points that you could that are probably tight, that are keeping the bones from being where they need to be. Does that make sense? And they keep pressure on the bone and keep it from moving. And if you loosen that up around here, and there's probably, let's see, there's one here, there's one over here, there's one up here, there's these right here, those right there. As soon as those start to, if you depressurize those, because they're like pressure points. If you ever study martial arts, there's pressure points. There's 108, I think. 108 standard ones, then you got the ones that, you know, the five fingers of death kind of shit. But those points will release tension and pressure, which will allow the skeletal system to get back to where it should be. But again, that's another thing that it just takes. You can't adjust the bones too much. It takes that's just going to take longer to do. That's all. That's funny, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, see, again, Ta is the letter T, which is a cross, and the cross being 22nd is a master number. So a master, so you got 33 is the super master builder. 22 is another master builder number. 11, 22, 33. And being the 22 is a crossing. It's like a cross. Very interesting. Which eye is a creative one? The left one. The left one is. It's connected to the right brain. It's feminine. So the right hand. Well, excuse me. I take that back. The right eye is connected to the left side, left of the brain, which is the feminine. Excuse me, it was backwards. So the right eye is the creative, but because it flips, so this weird thing happens. Your eyes connect crossways. So it's like left hand is creative. So left-handed people are more creative always. They can do more weird things. Right-handed people is, well, why do you think people went to church and got smashed on their hand? Because the left hand was of the devil. It was of the devil because it was feminine. So you see there's like a funny thing going on there. Tetragrammaton magic and keys of Solomon and keys of Moses. I've never got that deep into it for people. You know, you can't just come out with the first videos you're making and get into all of the extra stuff. Uh, because I kind of follow the path of, say, like Manly P. Hall, where he says, I'm going to tell you all about magic and how it works, but I'm going to tell you why not to use it at all times. Um, but yeah. I could dig into that a little bit. I mean, we get into all the other types of magic, but I get into the just the standard left and right hand path, the black, the white, and the middle path, and all of that. The extra like Solomon's keys and all of that. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excessively familiar with, but it's also like my shit is already it's already advanced enough for people where doing shit like that it would probably confuse even to dig really too deep into it. ah there you go. Yeah, it's use right hand. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's pretty standard practice. Your left hand was the creative one. Your right hand is to do everything rectilinear, be masculine. We got to have order, blah blah blah. That's why you write from left hand of a page and you pull it across the page. Look at how a piece of paper is set up. It's not set up for a left-handed person. Why do you think they get black all over their hands? They're writing this way. Why is it called writing? Because they're supposed to use their right hand. That's why everything's left is wrong. They play that game. Why are they pulling it from the red line along the blue lines with their right hand? They're pulling. And they're pulling from the top left down to the bottom right. This maybe I won't be able to give you the entire story here, but I'll give you an idea on it. There are certain languages they're called fire languages, and certain languages they're called water languages. And there's certain ways of some people write down. That's falling. So those are water languages, and there's certain languages that go up, and there's certain languages that go the opposite direction. Why? How could that even be? But it just so happens there is. So it's based upon how the shamans created the language. This is what seems correct. So it's what I've been, it's what seems correct and what I've heard from a few people. And so here's what's happening. If you use your right hand, what you're doing, you have two things in the world. You have memory, and you have creation. There's two things. Memory, past. Creation, future. I mean, there's your present self. That goes nowhere. Here you are. And you have the things that are going on and things that will happen. And so what they teach you is to use your right hand, which is connected to your left brain, which is I'm going to pull out of memory into creation. Now what that causes, if you take something out of memory and turn it into creation, It's a recycling. You can't create anything new. If you're left-handed and you flip it around and you go the opposite direction, you're taking something out of creation and taking them into memory. So creation is infinite. Memory is only a blockchain set of events that has occurred. If I take my right hand, it's only what I know into knowing it again. That's why when you go to school, you learn rote learning, R-O-T-E. That's why you write, R-I-T-E. And a rote learning, R-O-T-E. So you've written it, you wrote it, there it is. You're pulling from the past of your memory into the future, so the only thing you can recreate is the things that you've already created, so you're recreating. Where if I'm going the other direction, you're actually taking out of an idea that no one's ever seen with your left hand out of the future, and you're pulling it into the present. It's very and that's why religion, you go there and you have a preacher, and you go to school and you have a teacher, preacher, and you have masses and classes. Seems kind of like a bunch of asses, right? And they sit there, and you have the black magician in front of them, one person standing up, everybody else sitting down, and they say something, and then you say it again. They're getting you to cycle something. And everything is done. Look at the left-hand page. You go this way. This way. Memory to creation. But when you do it the other direction, that's the creative energetics. And the RHDNA, the rhesus, yeah. That's a little hard to get into. I have a few videos. You could look up videos I've done on blood types. And look up some blood type videos that I had. You might have to search a little bit for that. There's probably like 3 or 4 of them. Those are probably like a year and a half ago. If you can't find them, let me know. I'll try to find them for you. But most of the magic ones and things on language and how to fix the body. How to fix the body is most of my newer ones. RHDNA, truth about the angels. Yes. Yeah, the rhesus gene versus, yeah, I think there's an interesting thing about the RH versus the, then you got the A's, the ABs, the O's, because there's 4 of them initially, but then I got a little deeper on the blood types and how you have your antibodies, and then you have your antigens, and how those function, and how many more there are. It's like how some certain blood types can transfer to others, but the funny thing is there's actually there's an O there, and there's one's called an O null. No one really knows about that. It's an O null. It means that there's no. It means that it has a. I might not get this right, but you could look up my video on it. But the O null means it has all the antibodies and none of the antigens, or all the antigens and none of the antibodies, something like that. Because if you have antibodies, then the antigens have to cancel them out, and that's why certain blood types don't mix, because they'll have a lot of the same mixture of the antibodies in there. It's a certain type of same mix, because there's a lot more. There's many more. But there's like, okay, 20 of these, and some of these overlap. That's why some of them can transfer to different blood types, because there's a lot more. It probably has to do with the 64 codons and all that, the I Ching and all that, but I haven't gone that deep into it yet. The Star Child, what you know about, what's that dude's name that did the thing on the, one of my favorite, Lloyd Pye, and the Star Child, and the skulls, and the what's called intervention theory. So it's a mixture of evolution and creationism, meaning that something evolved and they took 2 species and then jammed them together the reason why men have hair on their chests but monkeys don't, why they have hair on their back, why they're all vegetarian but somehow we eat meat, why we grow beards but they don't. How are we part of their species? We're not, because we're mixed. So they mix some of the Nephilim or Anunnaki or one of those species with a monkey, and it took on certain traits. Like why would, if the idea of evolution were to be true, there'd be no reason we should be weaker. A monkey or an ape or a gorilla or whatever people say people come from, there'd be no reason for humans to be weaker physically. It just wouldn't happen. And there'd be no reason for us to start evolving to eat meat. Did eating meat make us dumber? I don't know. We were kind of fucking chilling. Everything was cool, and then all of a sudden now we know how to make weapons, and we can go fishing, and we can go kill other animals and eat it, and that doesn't seem evolved, and everything, and we're weaker, like physically. So there's Lloyd Pye and the intervention theory. I think is really awesome. You should check that out. Yeah, extraterrestrial I think just means outside of this realm. I don't think it means like off on another planet. I don't think other planets exist like that. I think there's planes of existence. I think we're in a realm. I think there's something beneath us and something above us. I don't think there's like planets the way that we're given. Yeah, angels. Yeah, they're angles. Yeah, they're angels, angles. Yeah, Anglo-Saxons. The angels are basically they just been around longer and they come from a different realm. They're extraterrestrial. It means extra, more. There's more terrain somewhere. What's up, can of beer? A little bit of both, man. I took a nap, but woke up. Peace out, can of bear. And yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that. One of my favorite people out there. His name is Arcturus Ra. If you don't know who Arcturus Ra is, check him out. He's fucking next level shit. So you got the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Lemurians, the Lycans. Is that the other ones? And yeah, I'm all for that. But it's just other realms outside of here. So I don't think it's another planet. But the constellations are energies of those places. And they're portals. That's what I think. That's what it seems to be. What's up, Fire Drake? £5 carrots, oranges, apples, bananas, and a buttload of coffee. Sounds good, man. The coffee, yeah. I would add a little chocolate to that, man. Chocolate coffee is my favorite. A little vanilla chocolate coffee, and you could add banana. One of my favorite smoothies is walnut, cinnamon, banana, little anise maybe. Yeah. Yeah, man. The stars, I think, are portals. I think you probably asked Fire Jake about that. He knows. The sun is a portal too. The moon is a portal too, but I think the moon is the I think eats up soul to make it start the game over. That's just I can't confirm or deny that. It seems that way. It seems like the sun was. I mean, it's easy to look at the moon, right? It's easy on the eyes, but it's not always there. And there's some interesting extraction that the moon does, and the sun is just, yeah. The sun, I think, is a portal, because I've gotten out of body. Most people get out of body at night. Funny enough, if you ever take a nap in the afternoon, you get out of body, and it's bright outside. If you get out of body during the evening, it's gonna be dark outside, unless of course you astrally project, like to somewhere else. If you project somewhere to another place, it could be light or day. It could be, day or night. But usually, if you get out of body at night, it's gonna be dark outside. You can walk around; it's gonna be pretty dark. But there was a time that I was taking a nap in the afternoon, So I would take naps in the afternoon, and I'd be able to get out of body, and I'd be able to walk out my front door, and it was 2 o'clock. It certainly was 2 o'clock. The sun was right where I knew it was, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a little different. See, Fire Jake knows. Black. Hey, so here, Fire Jake. I'm probably gonna shut this down in a second or two. But do you think if the whole thing occurs this year or next year or anytime on this realm, I mean not just in the astral, if it just does happen here, do you go to the white sun, the black sun? Do you go off into the sky? Do you hold down fort here? I mean, do you have a plan of action, or do you even, or to you it's all the same fucking thing, or is there like do not go that direction? I hope that makes sense to you. I think it does. You know, like don't go to the white light, carry in that kind of thing, versus going to the black hole sun. Won't you come ease away my pain? Blah blah blah, all that shit. Um, and is that gonna bring you back to a Saturnian sun on the outer realm, or will that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, Firejack, I wish I could do that. I mean, I can sit against trees and I have a glorious, comfortable, wonderful time, but I can't dip out of body like that. I mean, because usually whenever I go to the park and I sit next to a tree, I got a espresso in me and I'm gonna make a video. So I'm kind of more sitting there for just the comfort of the tree. I mean, I get that they're portals. I just never have done that. I've never, yeah. Yeah, I think the North Pole. I think just means this: your body is already a pole. You have a singular pole, and your North Pole is just the skull. But some people think that you got to walk somewhere. I don't think so. I think you're already where you need to be. That's fucking hilarious. I will Firejack. One day I'll get to where you are. Yeah, no, no. I hear you at the North Pole, the center of the Earth. Like, I mean, yeah. So I mean, you know. Yeah. I just don't think. I don't think that's a I don't think we were made to think that we needed to walk through the fucking the cold tundra of the Canada if you live in the U.S. and go through Russia and Tanzania and where the fuck I don't know. That seems fucking ridiculous to me because especially if you can project properly, you can get out of body and do all of these things. Your spirit body will take your human body. It could grab a new body. I don't fucking know, but it doesn't seem like you're anywhere but where you need to be. And for people that are gonna go that direction, I mean, have fun. If it looks like if some crazy shit occurs, and the plasma apocalypse happens, and it looks better there, then yeah, fucking have at it. But all the people that out there, most of them, I've noticed time and time again, they seem to have some sort of like culty ulterior motive, and the people that have been putting that out there, they put out all the good information, and there's always some like little tricks. Yeah, yeah, the plasma apocalypse. I don't not believe it. I think that's a possibility. I don't know that it doesn't happen on the astral realm. You might just do it in the astral realm. It might happen here. There's a good possibility. Just like the mud floods and all this. Yeah, I mean, Earth's flat. Mud floods happen. Like, it's pretty fucking obvious. Would happen again? Would be more mud floods? Would be something else? Would be, first time it was flood. Now are we gonna just play the Bible game again? I don't fucking know. But it does seem like either this year or next year, if there is a plasma apocalypse, I just don't think you got to go to the North Pole. I just think the North Pole is lighting up your tree in your own fucking cranium. Firejack, Firejack, you need to tell me when you're gonna do a video on this shit because I need to know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, You've done way more psychedelics than me recently, so maybe I remember how to do that, and I can do it when I'm out of body just because. But like to purposely do it, like that's funny. They're just like, well, um, hey, charitable. I'm so out of steam right now because I already did a long-winded thing earlier, and my throat is already like, and I'm getting kind of sleepy. But the simple is, plasma is your urine, so I would suggest drinking your urine. That's obvious. Plasma apocalypse. Apocalypse is not a bad thing. It just means the changing of energies, and most people think it's something that happens outside of them. But this is going back to if you ingest plasma, then your blood becomes more gold, and then your Christmas tree that you are standing there on your circle and square, blah blah blah, gets lit up kind of like if you ate mushrooms. I think mushrooms are just the allegory to have a quick trip to that place that you'd have to consume something out of you to get when it's already inside of you. Does that make sense? Because as and getting back to the earlier question, if you really want to get out of body just as quick as possible, start drinking your piss all day long. Don't do it towards the evening because you won't be able to go to sleep. It'll be very difficult. But that will start drinking your piss and then get some aged urine that you've let sit. I mean, that will take about a month to age the urine properly. Then you take that high pH urine, you'll get out of body. That's for certain. Anybody I know is they will. Yeah. Bingo bango. Yeah. Fire Drake. That's funny. Um, yeah, man. Charitable Miracle Ministry. I'll talk to you soon, man. This is a fucking pleasure. I'm gonna get off here in a second. But Fire Drake. Yeah, it's funny. I was on Jay Dreamer's channel, and I'd brought that up, and he got really like sidestepped it and was like, nah, we ain't talking about eating shit and drinking piss here. I was like, B, you're talking about the plasma apocalypse. You understand that urine is plasma, right? So you have to. Like, no, dude is amazing. Dude puts out some really great information, like some of the best. But if you're gonna say, yeah, but if you're gonna say plasma apocalypse, then you better know that plasma means urine. And I'm like, dude, and I wasn't even talking to him. I was talking to people in the room, and he kind of got upset that I was talking about piss. I'm like, but guy, you're saying plasma, and I'm saying plasma too. So why don't you make all these other connections, all these other dots? But you're not gonna just give one little. You can do all the research, but you're not gonna look into plasma, ultrafiltrate, the cleanest. You know. Yeah, he doesn't have a clue, and he's put off by it. But recently, though, there's a couple people that came to my channel because of me talking to them on their channel, on his channel, and watched one of my videos, and they kind of expressed to him, I think, that he should probably pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying. I don't know. It just seemed that way. Because he gave me a couple shout outs because I've made some videos for his channel. Because I mean, dude's fucking awesome. He's really put good information out there. I just think that was like the urine somehow he was out of bounds. Mm. But people should get very aware of that. It's just yeah. There you go, man. Yeah. So, and it's like I did, and I've tried to contact him on the side and be like, yo, B, what's up? Like, you want to do a show? You want to da da da? You know, you want to talk about plasma, like for real? But that would take him off of the but again, his channel is fucking amazing, and like his videos are very well done. It makes it very simple for people to understand what the fuck's going on. But I do think there's something very, very, if what's inside is outside, the plasma apocalypse has to do with like filling your body with plasma. I mean, if there's going to happen outside of you, then the best thing to happen inside would be to clean your blood, your blood plasma. It's called blood plasma. Magically, and you put it through a centrifuge, your blood separates from the plasma. And what you mean by blood is all of the rusted, ionized, used particulate matter, and then a bunch of yellow stuff, which is pretty much urine, which is the plasma. So that gets into that old golden blood thing, and cleaning your body to the point of, well, I mean, how would you rather have your body? More like the plasma or more electrically charged? If you got to stay away from the plasma the bolts that are happening, this is what he gets into. Then shouldn't your body be more closely resembling what it is? Because then it won't even, like, if you look like it, if you were exactly like it, if you were just plasma, it will have no metallic things to bind to. And if you were going to float off the ground and be sucked up into a thing, if you don't have any salts and heavy metals and dense materials in your body, then how could it even attach itself to you? Because that's what plasma would do. It's a plasma arc. So it's just like if you were to take metal and you want to bind two pieces of metal together, you have a plasma arc, basically. And that arc is plasma that takes metal and bonds it together. So if that's in my body, what do you think is fucking happen? Now, what if I'm just made of plasma? What's it gonna do? I'm just like it. It wouldn't even attack me. It wouldn't even get near me. So back to drinking piss and vinegar. Drinking piss and vinegar. Why do you think they say that? Piss and vinegar. Piss and vinegar and alcohol. Clean you right the fuck out. Hey, I could be wrong about this. And if y'all been drinking piss and vinegar and drinking alcohol, and you do happen to go up through the portal, my bad, yo. I'll see you the next time around, and next time I'll listen to you, I guess. But then you got to do all the footwork and figure out what the fuck's going on. Yeah, the Mandela effect. What time is it where you are, Fire Jerk? What are you doing? I didn't even get to my question. You know, I love it. I titled the video what I did, and I didn't even get to my question. I like that. 100th Monkey and the Mandala. Yeah, they're very similar. Yeah, in the sense of the way consciousness works. If enough people get it, they get it. You know. Does the Mandela effect really exist? Ooh. To me, it's kind of like the Mandela effect. To me, is somewhat like a test. Like, were you paying attention? Did you get all of the questions right? Because the Mandela effect, for the most part, other than there's only three or four Mandela effects that I've seen that I was like, okay, I was certain that shit happened a different way. I was certain in 3 movies. Then I'm like, why is it always connected to movies or products? That's weird. Couldn't there be a Mandela effect about the shape of a pine cone? You know what I'm saying? There's always that. And so I looked at, there was like 3 movies, and one was, obviously the Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. That one. I was like, yeah, but I was kind of young when I watched that, so he could have just said something different. And I just was saying what I thought I heard. Because, you're a kid. Who the fuck knows? And then the other one was the Field of Dreams one. If you build it, they will come, right? If you build it, they will come. I was certain of that one. And then I was like, no, he will come. But then you have the really minor ones where they changed one letter or one word, like in the Vampire Diaries or whatever. That one always kind of like, and then you get other ones. Even the Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears, I was certain it's Berenstain, because why would it be Berenstain, right? Then I get the E and the A thing, and then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm okay with the idea there is some sort of portal and time jumping, and I'm good with all of that. Like, I don't discount it. But some of the Mandela effects, I'm just like, I don't know, y'all. Some of y'all think now you're just like saying, because you have a difference in opinion, we should just accept that. And I don't know if that's exactly how it works. Holy shit. Shanity is in here? I ain't seen Shan. Do you actually, hey Firejack, do you actually know Shanity? I remember the first video I watched of hers. Before she started just making crazy music on her guitar and just doing weird shit. She was in an office. Do you remember? Hey, Shan, do you remember this? Yeah, no. I mean, because I never even really talked to you. Like, I've never talked to you like this. You were in an office building, doing some weird shit, and you walked into like a back room, and you were getting like you were like basically on this shit like you were in the Matrix. You worked at a hotel, I think. This is making sense? You went outside, smoked a cigarette, and came back inside, and you were like in the back office building, and you're like, I keep getting this number from this, odd thing, and I call it back, and it's like a router, and it's like, and you're like playing like you was in the Matrix. Do you remember that? hmm. Fire check. I hear you on the poop jokes, man. Ah, man. See, Shan, I did not know that. What's up? What's up, 5D Sky? Cannabear. Maybe it's flat, but they're making it round with mass focus. Cannabear. I mean, maybe it's flat. It's pretty fucking flat. Let's not do that. Let's not play that game right now. I'm gonna get off here in a second, anyways. Maybe it's flat. Come on, come on, Cannabear, get your head out of your fucking ass. Come on, dude. You've been smoking too. Like, I think you smoked yourself from the point of going, maybe it is flat, to like, maybe it's like a triple dog dare with somebody trick somebody into tricking them to trick them. Nah, motherfucking shit is flat, homie. You better fucking get that shit right. We in a realm. I mean, obviously we're not living in an upside down dome, are we? I think we're living inside of a you know what I'm saying? I think we're living inside of the that Christmas, around Christmas they give you the globes. Well, we live inside of the globe, not so it's just water in the middle and we live inside of it. But there's always an outside. I just don't think we live on the outside. I think that's ridiculous. I think yeah. Not a fluid matrix realm. And fluid's always going to do what? It's always going to find its level. Unless you still are eating off the teat of gravity and believing that Einstein was a genius. And Mike, whatever his fucking guy's name is. All these actors turned fake scientists. They just repeat a bunch of dumb shit. Which, man, I heard somebody talking shit about Masaru Emoto's thing about the rice experiment. Somebody's talking shit about it, and then used the term E equals MC squared to prove their point. And I was like, yeah, but that's Einstein, and Einstein has already been pretty much emasculated because was a woman, almost certainly. And your boy, nobody knows Walter Russell, and your boy, and everybody else's boy, fucking Tesla. He's already been outed as a scam. He didn't find that shit out. That's old world technology. All he did was like, he wouldn't even exist. He's just another actor. Tesla was an actor. Oh, he was doing all this shit and he dies old in a hotel room looking nothing like he did when he was fucking 25 or 30. All of a sudden he's got big ears and he's like, oh, dead in a fucking Boston apartment building. I mean, this is such a stupid story. He didn't find out the secrets of the universe. They just used that name because it sounds so, ooh, Saint Nikola Tesla. Fuck out of here. Now, who's using Tesla? Some dumbass to make people pay fucking $80,000 for a vehicle and then create a fucking dumbass looking truck? That's so stupid. Like, do you see how they're, at this point, they're just laughing. Like, laughing. That people would believe. You see, they shot the windows out. Though here's what the commentary was. They said this is bulletproof glass, and they shot both the windows out. They both broke, and they go, oh yeah, somebody must be in a lot of trouble for that because they were working on that vehicle for so blah blah blah. No, bulletproof glass is bulletproof glass. It's done. You just put it in the fucking vehicle, and then they make it look like that. They're just motherfuckers even following that to any degree. I'm like, are you people really this fucking stupid? Like they're just making fun of you. Like that's making fun of people. That's when like, really, who would ever design something like that? That's ridiculous, right? I mean, isn't it? Like here, that's as stupid as these people that believe that they sent a fucking car to the outer space. Oh yeah, all of the shit they say about why the rockets need to have the certain type of gold plated on the outside because it's temperature and why this and that, and they got this thing and the car is flying through outer space. People actually fucking believe that. That makes me either want to like run around with an Uzi and kill everyone, or just take a fucking 2 sawed-off shotguns and blow my brains out because I can't stand being here no more. Oh, Apple Faces? Yeah, he's you know what's very funny about him is um it's very interesting because he puts a lot of good information together, but he's always selling cameras and things. And he's got weird tattoos and he's kind of a goofy looking motherfucker. Let's just start there. None of that really matters. But then, you know who really puts him on? Santos Bonacci. So either Santos Bonacci is part of the illusion, or maybe he's just taking the good parts of what that dude is saying. I don't know. I was subscribed to his channel for a while, and there was just something that caught me all wrong about him. There was a bunch of things that he did was really, 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 really fucking cool, and he was dead on. But then he talks in a way that's very like he talks like a fat dude that wears glasses and is bald and is talking to other and that thinks they play World of Warcraft and they're smarter than people. That's how he talks. It's very distracting and annoying. And I get that I'm very annoying, just because I actually am smarter than everybody else. But yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, Apple this thesaurus or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. He yeah. Eh. I could do without any of his information. I'm better off not having this. I'm better off not paying attention to him because when I watch him, like, there's so much of it is so good, but he reminds me a little bit of Dan Winter in a way, where Dan Winter says the same shit over and over and makes it so fucking complex, convoluted, and confusing that I'm like, okay, well, his science is pretty much secure and down flat, but why does he do 4-hour videos to sell ridiculous products that work? I'm sure. Vortex Cannon, blah blah blah. And maybe they don't though. I don't know. I've never used them. Yeah. He seems like a genuine dude, but he just continues to go on and on about like, here's how to reverse age, and I'm like, but bro, you're still wearing glasses and you're looking older. That's why I always kind of got confused me. What's up, Blackstone Hojab? No, I can't tell you more about Tesla other than he's a figment of your imagination. That's about all it is. Tesla didn't exist. Pretty sure. Look up Walter Russell. How about that? How about look up the person no one's ever heard of that has a fucking book that explains how math really works and how the periodic table of elements actually looks and how light doesn't move. There can be no E equals mc squared because there is no constant motion of light, because light doesn't move, it reproduces itself much like an egg or a tree produces a seed. It reproduces itself. And so light reproduces itself. There's no time to it. It doesn't take 186,000 miles per second. It's ridiculous. Yet, how could you even measure that? You can't measure that. Fuck you. There's nowhere there's 186,000 miles. How are you measuring that? It can't be done. But they'll tell you, well, here's how we did it. Oh! Point to a direction. There's 186,000 miles. Is it going to go straight? So, if you need to measure 186,000 miles, right? It couldn't be around the Earth because they've already told you the Earth is curved and light doesn't curve. So, where are we going to measure this? It can't go 7 times around the Earth because light goes straight. Unless it gets refracted off of a lens. But even at that, it still takes an angle as soon as it hits the lens. It doesn't move. Well, but then we have gravity and space-time and all this bullshit. Like, nah. Ugh. Enough of that. 93 million miles away the sun is. Meh. Meh, meh, see? That's what I said, see? Now you better believe me, huh? I don't have it. Yeah, my trees around me do not. I'm surrounded by great oaks and shit. Pretend to put Tesla in space. What's up, branches? Now that you're dead, what are you gonna do? I know, isn't that the greatest question ever? Now you got your whole life to live. What are you gonna do now? All right, y'all. I would love to get in the rest of what y'all talking about. I can leave this on here for a second if y'all want to chat. I'll leave this on for 5 more minutes. You guys chat, but after that, I gotta fucking dip because my back is. I want to lay down. I'm tired. My eyes are going, and my throat is fucking killing me. So you guys enjoy your conversation, and it's always good to see every one of you. And it's really good to see you, Shanity. And hopefully your next video, you'll be like, you give me a shout, say what up Zen or something in your video, because I do, because I do remember, it's so fucking funny. You were playing with those goddamn fucking old. I don't. Where were you working at the time? You were working at like a fucking. You might still work there. I don't even know. Some hotel, motel, holiday. I mean, you weren't working at a hotel. I was not calling you a prostitute, okay? I wasn't saying you're not good look enough to be a prostitute. You're a beautiful woman. I was just saying you were working. See, you see, now I'm just gonna keep digging myself a hole here. You just had this back room full of all this weird shit. All right, Canterbury, good to see you, man. Black Sun. Firejack, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Instance. Charitable, good to see you, man. I'm assuming you're a man. Nah, Shan, no, that's not it. No, I didn't. You were not using a payphone. That's not true at all. No, you were using a fax machine. Unless you were saying that because you were trying to like play funny games with the Matrix. Unless you were saying that because you thought. No, I remember fully you were using a fax machine. Cock. He doesn't acknowledge fisheye curve BS, but is a lens expert. Seems fishy. Haha. Peace out, yo. Sky 5D, good to see you as always. I'm glad you enjoy. Alright, well, Canterbury, Charitable won't be there in a second. Yeah, of course. And come another time when it's not fucking 5 in the morning here, and I could probably do a better job at it. I just up at an odd hour, so obviously if you got questions, I normally have quite the answers. I just make it up as I go along. None of it is based in reality. I just say words, and if it happens to work, it works. Or maybe I know what I'm saying. All right, peace out, everybody else. I already said goodbye to Shanna D and Charitable and Cannabear and everybody else. I'm the fuck out of here. You guys have a good night. Fuck a donkey. Pet a raccoon. Eat a squirrel. Do your goddamn thing. I'm ass out of here. Peace, y'all. Oh, and I got to let me make sure. Ride an alpaca. There you go. I'm gonna have to go now. Now I want to go to Charitable's channel and Shan's channel to see what the fuck she's been doing. Says making weird music like Bjork. So I'm gonna call you Bjork from now on. Oh, I can't even access your channels from here. I'll do it after the show. Bye, guys. Bye, bitches.